Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us. I'm Caitlin Arla. We do begin with breaking news. The man accused of hitting and killing an 8-year-old boy in Schenectady was just in court. News Channel 13 was the only news station in the courtroom as Conroy Simpson appeared before the judge. Our Kumi Tucker joins us live now from Schenectady with the story you're seeing only on 13. Good afternoon to you, Kumi.
Good afternoon, Caitlin. Well, Conroy Simpson showed up here to Schenectady City Court today with his attorney and his family. He was out. He walked into court. He had posted $500,000 bond. This was a preliminary hearing today for Simpson, who appeared today before Judge Carl Falatico here in Schenectady City Court. The case was moved up to county court. Simpson is charged with leaving the scene of an accident resulting in death, a Class D felony, as well as operating a motor vehicle without insurance. He's accused of being the driver in the crash that killed 8-year-old Zion Delancey. Zion's family has told us that he was hit and killed while crossing the street with his brother Wednesday night in the area of Chrysler Avenue and Crane Street in Schenectady. We're told that that crash had happened shortly before 8 o'clock at night. Police say they located Simpson and his vehicle in the Woodlawn area of Schenectady a short time later and arrested him. Simpson's attorney said today he's a family man who lives and works in this city, who is heartbroken and did not know that he had hit anyone, let alone a child.
He cooperated with police, extremely concerned. He's heartbroken over this. This has traumatized him for the rest of his life. And I'm not trying to minimize the effect that this has had on the family, because this should have never happened, ever. Not in a million years, right? And I don't want to downplay that at all, right? Our hearts and our prayers go out to this young man's family, because this was absolutely tragic. But at the same time, my client, he would not do this to anybody's children or to anybody, period. Right? This is not who he is.
And that was well-known attorney Jasper Mills. That's Simpson's attorney. He also said that his client has no criminal record, has children of his own, and that he did not know that he had hit anyone. We didn't see anyone from Zion's family here in court today. According to his obituary, the little boy's funeral was at 10 o'clock at Light's Funeral Home, and his final resting place is at Parkview Cemetery here in the city of Schenectady. Reporting live, Kumi Tucker, News Channel 13. Caitlin, back to you.
All right, Kumi, thank you for those updates. New at noon, the case against the man accused of setting a dog on fire is moving to Albany County Court. Christopher Maxwell was due in Albany City Court this morning, but we have learned from court officials the case will now be presented to a grand jury. Animal rights activists planned on protesting outside City Court the same way they did when Maxwell was in court last Friday. We are now working to learn when he will appear in county court. Maxwell, who is from the Bronx, is accused of dragging a 1-year-old pit bull inside a crate in a parking lot in Albany and setting it on fire in February. He was arrested earlier this month and is charged with animal cruelty. Police say another person, Letitia Ellis, co-owned that pit bull and is also facing charges. We will stay on top of this story for you and bring you updates as we get them. Right now, the murder trial for one of the men tied to the disappearance of a Guilderland High School grad is getting underway. William Del Cerro was one of 2 men charged with the death of Shayna Feynman in Arizona last year. A man named Cavett Richards was Feynman's boyfriend, and Del Cerro owned the property where the couple lived. Feynman's sister says Richards was one of the last people to see her, and she had gotten into an argument with Del Cerro. Feynman's body still has not been found. Stay with News Channel 13 as we work to learn more throughout this trial. New York's Conservative Party has officially endorsed State Senator Dan Steck to replace Congresswoman Elise Stefanik in the 21st District. The party says it sent its official recommendation to the district's Republican chairs, who will select the final nominee. Senator Steck currently represents the 45th Senate District, which stretches from Glens Falls up to the Canadian border. Blake Gendebine is the Democratic candidate running at this time. As we've reported, Congresswoman Stefanik is set for a confirmation vote next Wednesday to become ambassador to the United Nations. Switching gears now on this Tuesday afternoon, let's get a look at that first warning forecast with meteorologist Reed Kisselback. Now to this shocking video, which has gone viral. It shows now former Northville coach Jim Zullo pulling the ponytail of one of his star players after losing in the state championships at Hudson Valley Community College last Friday. We know Zullo has been charged with harassment and has a pending court date in Troy City Court. We are working to learn more and we'll keep you updated on this story. Right now, we're looking at the aftermath of a fire that broke out in an apartment complex in Latham. Fire officials say the cause is not considered suspicious. The fire broke out at Latham Village Apartments off Troy Schenectady Road yesterday around 1:30 in the afternoon. Crews were on the scene within 2 minutes and we're told multiple departments were called in to help put the flames out. You can see the damage there. There were some equipment challenges, though, which made it difficult to fight the fire.
When we first use a hydrant supply that we first hit going in, that hydrant failed for whatever reason. So then we have to go to our next hydrant, which is all the way out here by the main road. And once what that does, it just bottlenecks our only means of egress. Can we work around it? Yes. Did we work around it? Yes. But it's one of the contributing factors we have to take into consideration with a fire like this.
Firefighters tell us no one was seriously hurt. We are working to find the cause of this fire. This is a story we first broke with a push alert on our News Channel 13 app.
Good afternoon, everybody, and thank you all so much for joining us. I'm Steve Koosh. That breaking news we're starting with right now. News Channel 13 just obtaining these court documents hot into our newsroom, unfortunately detailing a pretty disgusting act of child exploitation. It's a case the U.S. Attorney is investigating right now. This is John Sarcone III. He just announced at a news conference that a 20-year-old man from California is facing a charge of sexual exploitation of a child. Devin Ravine is accused of communicating with a 15-year-old girl in Rensselaer County. The FBI says he sent explicit messages and photos to this young girl. She spoke about it after a school presentation by the FBI. Now agents are commending her for stepping up.
I want to commend the student for having the courage to come forward and report what she was going through. In a room packed with her peers, she heard the message, recognized what was happening, and spoke up for herself. Because of her bravery, the abuse stopped immediately. It is my belief she also stopped countless other innocent minors from falling victim to Ravine's despicable actions.
At the news conference, they're also discussing how to improve children's safety online. There's a lot more to this story, and we're going to stay on top of it for you. In the meantime, for the third time this year, the Rensselaer County Sheriff's Office has hired more former state corrections officers. The county today swore in 8 new officers this very morning. All of them previously worked for the Department of Corrections inside our prisons. The sheriff in Rensselaer County has been outspoken about his support for officers who walked off the job as part of statewide strikes that we saw last month. The sheriff is also planning to hire 3 more corrections officers, he says, later this year.
Carol Weaver.
Here in Albany County, Sheriff's Office is now investigating a crash that caused a high school to shut down. These are pictures just into us from the Sheriff's Office. Police say this all happened right before 6 o'clock this morning on Route 9 West in the town of Queens. This rental truck simply veered off the road, and then what happened next is what caused all the problems. You see it right there. It crashed into a giant utility pole. Those wires fell onto the road. Police say the driver in the vehicle only suffered minor injuries, thank goodness. The road, though, had to be closed down, and it even caused a power outage at the nearby high school. The school district had to close down the high school for the day. The middle school and both elementary schools were only on a 2-hour delay, but the high school still not open yet. Right now, Amtrak's service cuts between New York City and Albany are in effect. Crews are doing construction on the East River tunnels in New York City, which were damaged in the superstorm Sandy. They now need to have 2 fewer trains in each direction every day to complete this project. This includes the suspension of the popular 6:35 p.m. train from Albany to New York City. This is also expected to take about 3 years to complete, so 3 years with less trains running. Well, now we're going to take a look at how the crossings of Colony looked this morning. Just lovely. Great day to lounge around out in the sun. enjoy the grass, maybe don't eat the grass. It's our photographer Cormac who got that for us. We're going to get a check now on our first warning weather forecast with meteorologist Tim Drawbridge, because Tim, it looks great out there so far today. Is it going to stay great?
Oh, it's definitely going to stay great.
In Albany, some dramatic video here. Multiple families having to pick up the pieces following this giant fire that broke out. 11 people are now homeless. We're told the fire started Saturday morning on Colony Street. The building had to be demolished this weekend after the flames ripped through it. Nobody was hurt, thankfully. Everybody got out okay, including the fire crews. Firefighters still investigating what started this blaze. It was the first Sunday since Pope Francis passed away. There was a large mass to honor the Pope at the Cathedral of the Immaculate Conception here in Albany. Bishop Edward Scharfenberger led the mass, saying that Pope Francis had a kind and cheerful presence from what he knew of him and the times he'd met him. Scharfenberger told stories about Francis, about how an attendee even once told him how he is remembering the Pope.
One of the most greatest people that's ever been in this earth in a leadership position. A person that was humble, loving, and really cared about the poor.
Over 400 people were at this Sunday's Mass to pay their respects. Brother Michael Perry from Siena College is now returning home today. He had the privilege to fly over to Rome and attend Pope Francis's funeral in person. Perry teaches at the college. He has known Pope Francis personally for over 10 years. This is a picture of the two of them together. They first met back in 2013, just a couple years ago. Perry even gave the Pope a Siena College t-shirt, and they've kept in touch ever since. Perry says he was constantly learning new things from Pope Francis. Now he says he's reflecting on his burial service.
It was deeply, deeply moving. It was really, I would call, a human and a spiritual event. There were moments where there was silence, and you could feel the silence. And I think that's what people felt when they brought out the casket with Pope Francis. I think people felt deeply moved by their experience.
Brother Perry says he feels honored to have gotten to know Francis personally like he did over these many years.